Are you confused by the story? Do you not know where to go? How do you even progress? In this video, we are going to be talking about navigating the early game, progression, UI, and combat in Where Winds Meet. Like I was saying before, this game can be pretty complicated. There's a lot of mechanics, there's a lot of things to do, a lot of things to look at, and I wanted to try to help people kind of on board to the game, because this game doesn't do it justice, and this game's pretty good, and I want people to enjoy the game. And to do that, I felt like, hey, so Where Winds Meet is a free-to-play open world RPG game that just recently released on Steam and PlayStation 5. Now, the game is about a year old. It originally came out back in China in 2024, and it just recently released about 2 or 3 weeks ago here in the States. It has a whole host of different things in the game. It has obviously combat. It obviously has story. It has different abilities. There's gear. There's passives. There's Sects, S-E-C-T, not the other one. Professions, mini games, and honestly, I can't fit everything into a sentence. There's just so much. Now, all this being said, this can be very overloading. And personally, I was talking to a friend of mine who had this exact problem. They got pretty overloaded by the game. And so, again, this video is an attempt to try to help alleviate some of that overload so that people understand this a bit better. When starting Where Winds Meet, while they have a very quick show of what the story is and kind of a little bit of the background, they kind of just throw you in. I was pretty lost at first, so let me try to catch you up quickly on what's happening. So this is you, the baby. Jiang Yan is trying to rescue you, the guy running away from everybody on the horse. Uncle Jiang, as I'm going to call him, is running away from a couple different groups trying to kill him and take the Jade Amulet that you, the character, are wearing. There's more to the Jade Amulet, doesn't matter right now. He escapes, obviously, the assassins, and heads to Qinghe, where he raises you until adulthood, training you in martial arts that whole time. So maybe about 10, 15, 20 something years. We don't really know, but we probably know. If you know, let me know in the comments. Now, he is not blood related to you. He has adopted you. And for the time being, and from what I currently know, no one really understands your character's personal family history. And also currently at this state in the game, we don't know what the Jade Amulet is really for. That was stolen from you. Now, the Jade Amulet is stolen from you in a robbery from a masked Jianghu warrior. This happens about 3 years after Uncle Jiang disappears. No one knows where he is or what he's doing, which is why we ask that traveling merchant info about him, and the traveling merchant says he doesn't know anything. Ruby is also not related to you, but is a kid that is friends with you since you are close to her father, and your Aunt Han is also close to Ruby. Now, Aunt Han is also not related to you, but regardless, you see Ruby and Aunt Han and Uncle Jiang and Ruby's father all as kind of your essentially foster family. Growing up, you work at her tavern selling the area's famous Parting Tears wine. So if you hear the word Parting Tears, that's what they're talking about. It's the famous wine that Aunt Han makes. Now, after training with Uncle Jiang and hearing stories about the Jianghu your whole life, you want to start your journey into becoming a martial warrior, learning all the martial arts, and eventually becoming a martial master so that you can join Uncle Jiang in his quests and his adventures and all that. I should also mention that the person that the Firefly flies to after defeating the Void King at the very beginning of the game, where you're playing as Uncle Jiang, is the main villain, Li Zuo, or in the game he's referred to as the Last Emperor. They are an enemy to Uncle Jiang. To what extent, I'm not too sure. To be honest, a lot of this lore I'm still trying to decipher. It There is no real easy way to find it that I know of. If you know, again, leave it in the comments. If you're interested in learning a little bit more, trying to get some of the connections down, they have essentially a research notes that you can look at that other players have made in the game. You're going to be able to find a lot of the player-made charts that kind of tell who's friends with who's enemies, who's lovers. There's a lot of notes that are really good, but then there's a lot of more meme notes that don't really do anything, but they're still there. So yeah, you're going to have to sort through it. Anywho, moving on. Yeah, so first we're going to be talking about just the game UI. So just what we're looking at. So the simple explanation is in the bottom right, you have your weapons, you have your abilities, and you have your other abilities. These are your weapon abilities. Each weapon has 2 abilities, and then the one on the bottom is a switch ability. So you can equip 2 weapons in the game along with a bow and arrow. The bow and arrow you're always going to have equipped, but the 2 weapons you are able to switch to. But every single weapon will have 2 abilities. One is a martial ability, and then we have their special ability. And so on top of here, we have some other abilities that we can look at. Right now, you can have 2 different sets of 4. These are different abilities you can cast. These do different things. There are 4 abilities in the game that help you solve puzzles. So this is Tai Chi. This is Meridian Point or Meridian Touch. And then this is Celestial Seas. These are just different abilities you can unlock that'll help you finish puzzles. But this one right here, this is a fighting ability. And so that will attack one enemy and knock them up in the air. And then down here, well, the one I'm switching at right now, you can equip, this is where your potion's going to be. You can equip a fishing rod, and you can also equip a buff. So I have a fire buff, so attacking enemy will put fire on them. Down in the middle, we have the health bar, and we also have a defense bar. So that blue bar right below the gray bar is actually my defense. When I'm getting hit, I might lose that. And if I lose that, I'm going to start taking more damage. If you've played Sekiro, it's kind of the same thing. So obviously that gray bar is the health bar. Moving into the top left, we have the mini map. Simple. You understand that. And then if we look in the top right, these are other menus that we will get into. Now, in the bottom left too, there is a chat where if you hit enter on your keyboard, you can chat with other characters. This game's pretty interesting because you're able to actually chat with NPCs and make friends with them. And I guess they can send you gifts. So that's cool. I'm just getting sent gifts. And so you can have your other friends. So in your rooms and all that. So that's the game UI. We're going to look at menu. So if you hit escape or start, this screen is going to pop up. Now, there's a lot here, so we're going to go through it all pretty quickly. Your bag is essentially just your inventory. These are all the pieces of gear you can equip. I have a bunch here. Quick use. This is like I was talking about earlier. This is my potion. This is my fire ability, and this is my fishing rod. Now, if you click on these things, you're actually able to see what other things you can equip to it. So divine craft, I can put fire, or I can put something that would add a water effect to my attacks, or something that would put poison on my attacks. Special item, you can put a fishing rod, you can put up other things. So you can dress up as a wrestler, a wrestling platform. I'm not sure why there's so much wrestling. Mahjong. So that's that. Develop. So develop, all of this stuff is stuff that you use to upgrade weapons, upgrade your martial arts, upgrade abilities, and all that. So our next one is all our items. This is just all the collectible things that we'll pick up off the ground. There's like different stuff for worm bait. There's farming tools. There's gifts, gameplay items. If you get chests in the game, like those items I got from those NPCs, this is where they are. So I can open them and I got some wood. And then you can also break it down by what the specific thing is. So if it's for your appearance, if it's a consumable, if it's raw material, and all that. And so one of the things that is good to remember is that there are consumable items that give you buffs. So this buff right here increases your physical attack by 20 to 40 for 30 minutes. This gives you more health. Okay, so something, if you are looking for a specific thing, you are actually able to search up what you need. So if you want to try to find your bag, it's right there and it'll send you there. Anyway, so yeah, that's our bag. We have quests. These are all quest items, pretty simple. These are your currencies. These are all the different types of currencies you get. Pretty simple. So the develop, we are going to develop. This is where you can actually look at your gear. This is where you can equip it. Now you could equip it in the bag earlier, but this is just a better place to do it because you can actually look at each and individual gear and you can compare. When you're about to equip something, it will compare it, whether it's better, worse, and the stats, they'll either go up or down. Pretty simple. So then we're going down to the enhanced, which is your average level. This is going to be one of the main ways you're going to be able to increase the amount of damage you're doing is by going to this section, the enhance section, and increasing your average level of the items. And so this does not apply to the armor that you have equipped. It is solely a passive that is added on top of everything you have equipped. This is something you should be keeping an eye on. Try to upgrade all this stuff when you can. So you can go down here and enhance. And if you are missing something, it will tell you what you're missing. And then if you hit space to confirm, it will actually show you where to go to get that thing. Now, this is like that for a lot of stuff in the game. Moving over to this side, this is your current build. Right here, we have details. And so this breaks down each and every single one of your stats, your character stats. But these are all the different buffs that we have equipped. Yep. Combat attributes. These are all the very specific numbers. And like I said before, the game's pretty helpful with, hey, how do I get this thing? And if you can't increase it, like your chi, it just won't give you an option. So this is your exploration mastery. So this is, you can get this by doing different mini games in the game. So resolve, you can do pitch pot, which is basically you get drunk and you throw an arrow in a pot. Okay, so sometimes, depending on what you're doing in the game, you might get afflicted with something. You will see it right in the top left of the map. You will see like a red circle and your character will look like they're hurt. And so what you can do is you can come over here, look at your constitution, and it'll tell you, hey, you have a sprained leg. Hey, you have been poisoned, that kind of thing. So you can come over here and look at that. And you can heal that at a doctor. So if you do have an affliction of some kind and you are in Qinghe, you can come over here right between Blissful Retreat, Kilnfire Ridge, and it's at Still Shore. It's the Evercare Clinic. And you can go to this doctor here and they'll heal you up. It costs 10,000 monies. Oh yeah, so we're talking about honor, outstanding citizen. You can commit crimes in this game. I haven't. I'm not a criminal yet. So we're going to move on from that. And now if you want to know how to improve even more so, there's an improvement guide, but you can look at combinations. Hey, this is like a good combination. This is what people are using. This is the type of stuff people are using. So strategic sword, having Quaker spear. And these are challenges. So yeah, Inner Way completion 1, fully comprehend Sect Golden Inner Way, Sword Horizon. And so we can click on that, go do that, and it will give us some Echo Jade. Okay. There's a lot. I understand that, but we're going to keep on plugging along. Okay, I just want to jump in here really quick. I accidentally skipped over this part. When we are in the development section of the martial arts and we go and click on Bamboo Cut, we have the path guide up here, but we also have the development guide. And in the development guide, it can actually tell you where you are lacking. So in my character section right here, we can see character development. Excellent. Upgrade as needed. But if we come over here to gear, we can say good, prioritize this upgrade. And it'll say that for these. Now, what it can also say is that, hey, you need to upgrade these immediately. And so instead of yellow, it's going to be red. And it'll tell you specifically, hey, this is what you upgrade. And depending on the type of abilities you have, so depending on the types of weapons you have, the martial arts that you have equipped, it will recommend you to go develop certain things. So with my gear here, it's telling me I need to work on my bow. I got to work on my pendant, my secondary weapon. I got to upgrade my bow. And when I click on it, just like everything else in the game, it'll tell me where to go. This is extremely helpful if you are not doing as much damage and you're just not really too sure what you got to work on. Come over here to the development guide. Should help you out. So we're going to head over to abilities now. So these are the martial arts I was talking about. These are all the martial arts in the game. Currently I have strategic sword and having Quaker spear. And so these are the abilities, the martial arts skill I was talking about, special skill. This is the dual weapon skill or your weapon swap. This is your light attack and your charged skill or your heavy attack, it shows you it all here. It shows you the description of it. It shows you how it works, and it'll define different things and what they do, like bleeding. Now, if you have a martial art you want to unlock, but you don't have it unlocked, like let's say the Infernal Twin Blades, you can go over here and hit obtain, and it will show you how to do it. You can either do a skill theft or you can join the Midnight Blades, which is the sect. Now we'll get to that in a bit, but the skill theft, it will show you, hey, go here. Or it'll give you some other clue like, hey, go do this thing and you can get it. The game is not, I don't think it tries to be confusing, but the reality is that there's a lot here, and you can only track one skill theft target at a time. So here's the other one. Now, if you have the option to join the sect that the martial art is a part of, then it will give you the option. Otherwise, you won't have that option. Yeah, if you click on this button right here, it'll show you the basics. So, hey, you can dodge, how to defend, all that. And then over here is breakthrough. When you break through a martial art, we can get to that in a bit. But if you click over here, break through the martial art, this essentially what it does is, hey, it just makes it stronger. You can read exactly what it does, but just understand it makes the thing do more damage. Break through the martial art, it do more damage. So if we go down here to our inner way, our inner ways are essentially just passives, and they require different things like this one. When dealing damage, there's a 10% chance to apply a poison effect for 5 seconds. Dealing damage once per second. The poison reduces the target's physical defense by 0.6% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So if I hit someone, there's a chance to put poison on, and that poison will, one, do damage, but also reduce physical defense. And so you can switch it to a brief and have it be more brief, or you can have it be more detailed. Essentially, they're just passives that you can equip, and you can build around them. So this is a build crafting thing that you can do. There's a lot of them here. And like before, if you go to comprehend inner way, there's ways, hey, I can get it from this. I can get it from this. So our inner ways, we unlock them by getting essentially manuals. That's not what they call them, but these are manuals or pages. And that lets us comprehend the inner way. And so eventually you're going to be getting pages or manuals that you don't need. And so what you can do is by clicking up here and going to tips recycle, you're going to be able to recycle your manuscripts that you don't need. And you can then get these book plates, which you can then use to get the manuals that you want. This is just a way for the grind to not be as bad when you're trying to go after specific pages or specific manuals. Let's come back. So we are in our develop, our gear. We go to abilities, and we're looking at mystical skills now. Now, mystical skills were those puzzle skills I was showing you earlier. So the Tai Chi, you can pick up and throw things. The Meridian Touch, you can essentially you can freeze enemies. You can do certain things to other characters. It helps you solve puzzles. Celestial Seize, you can grab items. Again, it's for puzzles. There's some combat encounters. Like here, you can pull a weapon. Cloud Step, and there's a bunch of them in here. So area debuff, area damage, single target control, which is the Yaksha Rush, which is essentially you hit them and you kick them up in the air. And you can actually see the different ones. I kind of want to get this one, Wolf-like Frenzy. And again, just like I said before, everything else in the game, space, how to learn. And so this is a little bit different. It won't actually tell you where to go, but it'll give you clues. Now, there's going to be other things like that in the game where it won't actually tell you exactly where to go. You kind of got to figure it out yourself or read what they're telling you and just kind of do that thing. By exploring the map and just kind of doing everything, eventually you're going to find everything. So we keep scrolling down, single target burst, support, all that. And then you can assign them to your abilities here. See what your general, these are just other abilities you can get, other abilities you can unlock, some passives. This is the assassinate skill you learn very early on. Wind sense, you all learn this very early on. Okay, so these are different. So lightness is a way you can jump into the air and glide a very, very far way. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. And here I can learn that through here. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. So yeah, wall runs. You can do different wall runs. That's all that. And if you want to learn them. So talents. Talents are another kind of passive that you can unlock. So if we go back to our abilities here, you can see that these are locked. So these are all locked. At the beginning of the game, all of these are going to be locked, except actually all of them. Maybe not this first one. You might unlock that right away in the tutorial. By going through the talents, you get talents by completing the main story, accumulating enough epiphany points. You complete main story, side story, Zhanghu, open chests, just basically playing the game. You're going to get points for talents, and through those talents, you're going to be able to put them into these. All of these are a single point. So crit rate +4, crit damage +5, precision. Unlock slots, survive fatal damage once, recover 20%, and gain 3 seconds of invincibility. That kind of stuff. It's nothing like super complicated, but it's here. Now this is the arena. I haven't really delved too much into this, but it's the same thing, more passives. This is for the boss. So these are for different bosses. Yeah, this is all just more bonuses, that kind of stuff, just to make these fights a bit easier. Okay, so we're still in a character. We're going to appearance. This is all just basic appearance stuff. You can click through this and mess around with it. This is not super complicated. Weapons, you can have your mount, your horse, change all that. I mean, realistically, this is all just appearance stuff. Wow. All right, anyway. So over here is profession. Yeah, I haven't delved too much into professions yet, but from what I understand, there's going to be certain NPCs in the game that you can't interact with. You can't play their mini games unless you have a certain level of profession. And I would assume professions go pretty deep into the end game. So I'm not there yet, obviously. So you won't, as an early game player, don't worry about this. Just ignore this. So shop, this is the cash shop. I don't think I need to explain this too much. From what I understand, mostly in this game, it's not pay to win unless something happens later on. It doesn't appear to be pay to win. It is mainly just cosmetics. A whole lot of cosmetics. Oh, you can have a goose as a mount. Wow. Oh, you could walk a dog? What? No. Oh, you could do 2 dogs. 3. Oh my goodness, you can walk 5 dogs. How much is it? How much is this? $50. Chad, is it worth it? Chad, is this worth it? So draw, this is the gotcha element. It just draws. That's it. Use the premium currency. You get draws, you get certain things, different cosmetics and all that. Battle pass, again, this is pretty simple. This is your battle pass level. This is your XP. You can only get so much XP a week. These are your quests. Yeah, it says the refresh time down here. These are the weekly. These are the rewards. This is typical battle pass stuff. Shop, you can buy shop. So this is the currency you get from the battle pass. You can exchange it. Get this stuff. You can, where is it? You can buy battle pass levels. So if you hit this plus, you can buy battle pass levels. Okay, so we're going down to this journal. So this is the journal. These are the different campaigns, the different quests you can do. This is just the main campaign that you can do. As you just progress through the main story, you're going to probably be doing these, but a lot of these are side quests that you will find. And again, if you want to know how to get to an individual one, it'll take you there. Like everything else in the game, I still have some to do. Yeah, so just like doing quests, you're going to be finding stuff and like doing stuff and filling all this out. These are essentially just talking about the stories that you encounter when you're doing these quests. These are the explanations. These are different things. And apparently you can see people commenting on these specific quests. So that's pretty cool. Exploration. These are just the different things you can find out in the world. This is essentially just like compendium of everything you've seen, all the different things you found in these specific areas. So there's like little completion quests. Yeah, archery contest, wildfire ghost, wild ritual ghost. These are the little exploration mini games you'll find. It's just tallying it all up. And the different areas. Wandering tales. These are the different tales that you can find. These are the little side quests you will find as you play. There are a lot of them. A lot. It's just more stuff you can do. If you're looking for stuff to do, you can come in here and it'll tell you where to go. Different outposts. It is important to clear these or try to do these for dailies. If you hit V, you're able to switch region. Each region has its own campaign and its own things. So yeah, that's that. World bosses. Yeah, there's different world bosses you can go fight. and all that. And then the world over here, again, this is just different things you can do, different details. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so you can click, what? That's crazy. So you can actually look and see what kind of factions are related in these stories. You can look at the time era of these stories. Yeah, you can look at the figures. There's a lot that you can do. This is pretty expansive. So like you can vote on saying like, hey, the diplomatic relations, the hanging blade, please select what you believe the relationship is to the Arit Pavilion, and a hostile, a northern vow, please, so it's like most people believe they're friendly. So this is pretty cool. I haven't explored this as much. These are all the different characters you can meet along the way. There's a lot. Research. Okay, you can create a web of, okay. I'm not too sure what the point of doing this is, but it's cool. So you can create a web of, hey, who's connected to who and all that. Yeah. So this is, yeah. So this is something you can do. Literally just your own personal research notes. And you can see other people's research notes. Oh boy, what is this? Oh boy. I'm not too sure what I'm looking at. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is like the main story and like all the different characters and like the main characters in the story and like how they're all connected. This is cool. Honestly, this is really cool. Like, because the story can be a little bit hard to follow with all the different names and all the different people and the relationships. Because the thing with Where Winds Meets is you're just kind of thrown in. You're not really given context. Your character just knows things that you don't know. And, that can be problematic. But anyway, that's that. These are your quests over here. If we go back, these are your quests. Again, this is all pretty simple stuff. It'll tell you where this is. You can track it all. This is all main story stuff. You can go through Lost Chapter. These are like smaller side. These are not main story, but they're a little bit smaller than that. Encounters. These are essentially your side quests, and exploration. These are the mini quests that you can find. You can look at all your in progress stuff over here, and you can click on it and organize it this way. Look at the overview, do all that. Compendium. This is a more expansive look at everything. So this is all like pictures of the individual area and wow. Okay, this game is awesome. This game's awesome. This game is so cool. So this is basically a look at all the each individual areas. You can go through it all: weapons, performance, different music, poetry, entertainment, chivalry, all that, the different everything, explanations, and all that. This is more of like a lore section down here. Let's start from the beginning. We hit escape and we go to wandering paths. This is essentially where you're going to be finding your daily quests. So you can find bounties over here. You can do different bounties to get different rewards. By getting and leveling up through this, you can get different rewards. By maxing out, you will get this armor. And there's a bunch of different bounties you can do. Trial, vendetta, bounty hunting, profession, fellowship. You can get points or coins, and through that you can get accessories. Challenges. This is where you're going to find your bosses or daily stuff. Casual co-op. You can matchmake into co-op. Yeah, so you can matchmake into co-op doing these different things. Looks like different quests. And you can also do leisure. So you can matchmake and do different things. Matchmake and play mahjong, play cards, entertainment. That's for matchmaking. Your arena, this is PvP. If you're interested in that, as a beginner player, probably not too interested in that. Typing. So this, like we were saying before, you're going to have to come and do these. Essentially, these are little arenas where you just got to fight enemies and you can see which enemies are what. It's just a timed little arena. If you beat it within the time, you get 3 diamonds. Yeah, 3 diamonds. And yeah, depending on how many diamonds you get, you'll get different rewards. And each diamond you clear will give you a different reward. Simple stuff. Nothing too complicated. You're going to be fighting a couple different enemies. You'll have different buffs. So like this one increases your affinity damage by 50%. And it says, hey, you should have this recommended martial mastery. So a martial mastery, if we go back to develop, it's this number right here. So this 8,190. Well, what's actually interesting is you can actually compare yourself, how far your character is developed, to that of a goose. So I am only 0.819 gooses strong. And so I think that actually helps a lot. It helps put things into context. And so, maybe you want to look at that. Maybe you want to look at that. Yeah, that's what this is talking about here. The martial mastery. So you want to try to be around that. Otherwise you're gonna struggle. Backing up, trials. Yeah, I haven't gone through this yet. I would assume that these are bosses that are just a lot stronger. Yeah, these are bosses that are a lot stronger. They give you different rewards. There's rankings. As a beginner player, you're probably not going to be dealing with this. So I would just ignore that for now. And then, yeah, so the shop, by getting adventure slips, you can obviously get more cosmetics. Okay. We're almost done with the UI. We're almost done with the menus. There's a lot of menus. So this is season 1 Blade Out. And so these are different rewards you can get by completing the Warrior's Journey. It's essentially a pathway. Hey, yeah, go do different stuff and it'll progress you. Go do different quests, activate any 4 set of this gear. So let me take a step back real quick. I'll mention this. So each gear has its own set. I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't really worry about this too much. It's probably more important a lot later down the line, but as of right now, this is just not important. You can do it if you want, but I wouldn't worry about it. But that's what they're talking about, equip a certain set. And then, so Battle Pass update. This is back to the Battle Pass page. We were already back there. Season shop, again, more shops. Collect jade fish and you can unlock stuff. That's, to put it simply, more cosmetics. Upgrade Jade Realm. So by collecting fish, currently, right now in this season, you collect jade fish. And by collecting jade fish, you get bounty tokens. And those bounty tokens, again, who would have thought? I think you can use them in a shop. Use them somewhere. And then you can increase your realm and more rewards. Let me take a step back and talk about, hey, most of this stuff is like, hey, it's just rewarding you for playing the game. That's what it is. It's just rewarding you for playing the game. Like, I mean, literally just playing the game, you're going to be getting stuff. And so you're going to be clicking on a lot of stuff and collecting a lot of stuff. And honestly, you don't have to know too much, like exactly what you're collecting or like what's happening. Just understand that you are getting resources by playing the game and going and doing stuff. You are getting more and more resources that you can then use to then upgrade your character and do different things to then continue. Now we're going to, okay, so we have social down here. Okay, so these are some other features in the game I haven't really taken to. I think you can date NPCs and or other players. You can have disciples. And so, you can seek to be an apprentice of these people. This is all just social stuff. Sworn seems to be a team. Intimacy, this is just bonus stuff for when you actually do have like partners and other stuff. This is your friend list, your team. So if you're in a team, co-op, you can play co-op. Shop, obviously, shop. Here we go again. Just more stuff you can buy. Your guild. This is the more traditional guilds that you might find in other MMOs. So yeah, there's different types of guilds. You can create your own. I won't go into it. Doesn't really matter. Okay. So let's back up and let's look back at events because this is a separate page on its own. So there's a sign and there's a bunch of different events going on. We look at recommended. This is like, hey, just follow us on Discord, Facebook, all that. Find your email, your rewards. Simple. This is the sign in. You sign in every day, you get a reward. Simple. This is One Leaf, One Life. Another event. Sometimes you need to explore a little bit to actually gain access to these events. But like, hey, this character, this outfit just unlocked, so there's an event. I got to explore first to actually unlock it. This is another event. Hey, go online. Another event. This is basically like an exploration kind of event where it will, you can actually see, you can take pictures at different points in the map and then save them and it'll show up here and it'll tell you, hey, you first entered Qinghe on this date, you first did this on this day, you first did that and that and that. Pretty interesting. And the more you do that, let's go back up here, you can actually get stuff. So you can claim stuff. Campaign, I haven't started this, but I think we can. So this is a campaign I'm on. You can go to it and it'll tell you where to go. This is essentially the main story. Just kind of follow along. Lumina Guide, Kai Fang. Again, just exploration stuff. Complete the quests, you get rewards. Know Your Zhonghu. This is more of a kind of base. Hey, do these things and you'll like it. Again, more rewards. Do these things, and we'll give you stuff. We'll give you rewards. We'll give you reputation and all that. Just do stuff, follow the thing in the game, place 10 components. It'll tell you what to do, and you can do that. Okay, Path of the Strong. Again, this is another event. I can't actually complete any more. Level 55 currently in the game at the time of recording, which is November 28th, 2025. Level 55 is the max level. I am the max level, so I can't move forward with this. But this is just a level up event. Get to the level, get rewards. We're going to look at sects, SET sect lists. These are different groups in the game. These are PvE groups, so player versus environment. Different groups that you can align yourself with different stories, different ultimates, rules, all that. I haven't really explored these too much. As a beginner player, you're probably not going to deal with these too much. Now, if you want to, you can deal with them early on, but I would suggest focus just on the main story, focus on wandering around and just doing stuff. This doesn't really matter too much right now. You don't need to join a sect to learn a martial art. You can learn the martial art through other ways. So these are different quests you can do. Oh, commands. Okay, so I bet if you're in a sect, you get different commands and you'll like just get different rewards. And then obviously you can use it in a shop in which you get stuff just like usual. Just like usual. And then, yeah, this is a shop. But if you come up here and we go back to the guide, there's the encyclopedia. This teaches you basically everything and how to do it. Hey, basics. How do I run around? How do I do this? How do I do that? And it'll tell you, it'll have a little video that'll pop out. That's that. Letters, you have mail. Time, you can change the time in the game. Certain events require a different time, so you can change it. You can go a couple days. You can go however long. You can only go 1 day later. There's the photo mode, so you can take pictures. There's emotes, questionnaire. This is I don't know. I think this is the game saying, hey, just answer the question. We have settings and we have. Okay, last thing I want to talk about the UI is the breakthrough system. So once you hit a maximum level, it's going to be level 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. You're going to need to break through. So once you hit that max cap, you're going to need to perform a breakthrough to continue leveling up. And so you'll get the option up here, level cap needs increased, and you also see solo mode upgrade. But we'll click on these 3 dots and it'll say level and XP, character level 65 out of 65, stored XP. When character level reaches the cap, excess XP is stored. Once the level cap is raised, each new XP gain will also restore a portion of the stored XP until it's fully returned. Breakthrough in solo mode to increase max level. So hit space, go to breakthrough. So essentially what this is pushing you into a different world tier. If you know world tiers from other games like Diablo or Division, this is basically what this is. Every single world tier currently, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Currently 11 is the highest right now. Every single time you hit the level cap, you're going to need to break through into the next level to get to the next world tier. Now, you don't have to do this because what happens is enemies do get harder and enemies levels also increase. Enemies levels will scale to your level and they will stop at the world cap. So level 8, they will stop at around 65. I think they can go up 1 or down 1 around 65. But I'm not too sure about that. To actually break through, currently I need to go into the Taiping Mausoleum and finish floor 8. And so I can go here, hit space, go to trial, and it'll take me over here, which I need to do that. It'll also tell you right here the mastery level you need. but since I already have it, it won't. Now, you only need to start doing the typing mausoleum, I think, once you hit level 40. I think it's level 40. Before that, level 10, 20, and 30, you're going to get teleported to essentially a little arena where you have to fight some enemies, fight a boss, and then you can do a breakthrough. And we can see what happens when we do a breakthrough. Max cap is increased to 70. Max energy boost is 500. Doesn't change. Character attributes go up. All 5 attributes go up. Enemy strength increases. Gameplay rewards are enhanced accordingly. Now, a couple things for why you should do breakthroughs is one of the most important things, actually, is whenever you're doing your dailies, you're going to be able to get a roll on a chest multiple times. At first, you can only roll on the chest once. Eventually, you can do it twice. Eventually, 3 times. You'll see more about that later in the video. But that's one of the reasons. You'll also get other gameplay rewards. You get other rewards here for leveling up. You get different gear sets. Every time you do a breakthrough, you will get a full set of gear at that level. So once I get through breakthrough 9, I'll get a full set of level 61 quality gear, which would be helpful because I still have to get some of that. But like I was saying before, and like I'll say later, you don't really need to do this. You can if you want. It's helpful. You get more rewards. You get more loot. You know, that's more up to you. Go down here. You can look at the intro. This explains it. Again, if you missed out, go down here to rewards overview, and that's where you can see all the rewards. So remember to collect these. Moving on. Okay, so that's all our UI. So we're talking about combat now. Combat, we've already kind of talked about the martial arts. So let me go to a different area of the map. Let me go to an area where we have better lighting. We're gonna have to go find some enemies, but okay, so we're gonna talk about attacking, defending abilities. This is all like pretty simple stuff. Okay, so when we're talking about attacking, this is all pretty simple stuff. The main tutorial at the very beginning of the game will teach you it, but just so we're all on the same page, if you're on controller, your X is your light attack, your Y is your heavy attack. Hold down the Y, hold down the heavy attack, you'll do a charged attack. If you hold left trigger and press your X, you do your martial skill. If you hold left trigger and hit Y, you do your special skill. Left trigger and A, you switch. Holding down the right bumper will make you defend for a second. Holding right trigger, you will get the other abilities that you assign, your C's, your Tai Chi, your Celestial C's. So yeah, we can basically attack. Hitting right stick will lock on. I think we all know this. This is all pretty simple stuff. But one thing that's is interesting is the deflect system. So when an enemy is right about to attack you, you can deflect, and doing that will cause you to do a repost. But there is a system in the game that immediately as you start the game, it will let you have a deflect assist, which I have on, and it is very helpful. Essentially, when an enemy is about to attack, you will auto deflect. And if an enemy is about to do a bunch of moves, you will deflect them all. So it can be pretty helpful against bosses that do a bunch of hits that you can't really tell. Truth be told, it just makes the game a lot easier. And I mean, I would have it on. I don't really see a point in like doing it otherwise. I'm not sure if it's on for PvP. I kind of doubt it is. But, you know. So we're doing heavy attacks. Doing charged attacks. We're deflecting. So Tai Chi can be used to disarm people's shields. Sometimes it kind of works, sometimes it doesn't. And eventually, once you knock someone's blue bar down enough, you will be able to essentially do an execute on them. You will be able to do an execute on them, and which does a bunch of damage. So that's kind of what you want to do. There are certain weapons that will get you to that knock a person's guard down quicker. So you can look into that. Yeah, certain attacks will just do it quicker. But like there, I did the auto deflect and it just deflected every single attack. And that's why I have it. 'Cause I'm not trying to try hard. I just want to play the game. Also, deflecting will knock someone's defense down by quite a lot. So that's also something else. Kind of ties the whole thing together. And using your skills, using your martial art ability or using your special skill will require stamina. And so sometimes you will run out of stamina. So that yellow bar right to the left of my character, that is my stamina. And you can see by using it, by using my abilities. By using my abilities, it's going down. But it comes back pretty quick, and there are certain weapons that can help you get it back quicker. Certain special abilities. Yeah, that's it. Combat, it's not too complicated. It's pretty simple. Light attacks, heavy attacks, deflects, using abilities. And then you can go on top of that by like, hey, I built my thing in a certain way, so I do bleed attacks and I can do other things with those bleed attacks. You know, there's like other things you could do. There's some level of build crafting. I haven't gotten too much into it to the build crafting. So the depth at which there is build crafting, I'm not sure. So where Winds meets progression is all focused around exploration. The game's description at the end is let the wind carry your legend on an epic journey to the east. And I think they do a pretty good job with this. Progression loops back into exploration and is broken down in 3 specific ways. The first way that exploration is broken down is through quests. These are the main campaign, side quests, small encounter quests that you can find hidden around the game, sometimes at different times in the day. Each region is going to have 1 campaign associated with it. Currently, there are 2 at the time of recording, Qinghe and Kaifang, with the newest region eventually launching, Heshi. I'm not exactly too sure when that's going to launch, but it's going to be coming eventually. The main quest itself moves the larger narrative forward. That's the story the whole game revolves around. The side quests are going to be smaller stories that help fill in the details of characters that pop up in the main quest, or will just fill in and add some more texture to the world. These are a lot more personal and focused on character drama. I think a little bit more than the main story can, with the main story being so focused on the bigger picture. The small / encounter quests are even smaller stories, usually strange, funny, or sad stories you find in the world. These add a lot more texture that I think really bring the world to life. And like I said these before, you can find these types of quests all over the map, sometimes at different times in the day. All these quests can be found in different tabs of the journal. All the quests are shown there, so if you want to do a specific one, you can find it there. Next is martial power. Martial power is a little bit different. While it is increased through exploration, it kind of builds on itself, eventually looping back into exploration. First, you have the better gear. This is done by wandering around, fighting enemies, getting drops, and collecting loot from quests and bosses. Through this, you'll be leveling up, then repeating the process, getting materials to enhance your average level, and getting higher levels and higher rarities of weapons and armor, which goes from green to gold rarity. Next, as you level up, getting better gear, and then doing breakthroughs, you'll have the option to have more and better gear drop. Also having the option to roll up to 3 times on bosses and stronghold chests, which gives you 3 rolls of that loot drop, which helps tamper down on the grind a bit. Lastly, because of these 2 other things, you'll then have access to higher level content like trials and access to different multiplayer activities, which then helps wrap it all around back to exploring. Lastly, there's going to be collectibles. Now, there's only 2 parts to this one. One is for upgrades, and 2 for cosmetics and housing. I put upgrades here because while most of the upgrades do help you get a higher martial power through different materials you can collect, you can also find other materials that allow you to get different cosmetics. Things like tokens you can take to a bunch of the different vendors in the game, which allows you to get different cosmetic items. Also, materials you collect allow you to build out housing. On the other side, exploring, doing quests, and getting higher martial power will allow you to unlock and wear different cosmetic items, tops, hats, masks, accessories, etc. Also, by doing these, you'll eventually unlock the ability to build housing and unlock the ability to build different types of housing, which I have just not even tried to dive into yet. There's too much already. All these put together loop you right back into and push you into exploring. Every system in the game is built for this, and I believe it does a good job at it. Explore, progress. Explore, progress. Explore, progress. Moving on. So, where winds meets can feel overwhelming. It can. We just spent the past, I don't even know how long, going through all the menus and all the menus in the menus and all the menus in the menus that are in the menus. And so it can feel very overwhelming. And I get that. But I don't think that should dissuade you from playing this game. Because like a great man once said, aka the GOAT himself, a mountain is daunting until you take your first step. The person who says this knows who said this. I know them personally. The GOAT right there. But yeah, I think this is true. Looking at this game, you know, you just gotta go into it. You just gotta dive into it. You know, don't worry about it too much. I was telling one of my friends, it's like, brother, just play the game. Don't even worry about events. Don't worry about anything. Just wander around, fight enemies, and talk to people. Don't worry about any of this other stuff, because the game is made in a specific way where you can just ignore everything else and just adventure. And that's really cool. That's really cool. And I'm happy it's like that. Okay, so we've talked about the UI, we talked about combat, and we talked about progression. We've helped you, dear viewer, learn how to navigate the UI, learn how the basics of combat work, and learn how to progress in the game. One thing I think I should mention on the progression, literally just follow the main story, follow the main quest. You'll be fine. Like, you don't even have to go off the side, off like a side route. You can literally just follow the main quest. It'll take you where you need to go. And that's it. Like, literally, that's it. I'm not sure if I added that before, but like I was saying again and again, just play the game. Don't worry about it too much. Don't think about it too hard. If you want to engage with that part of the game, like all the different menus and all the different things, you can. But like I said, you don't even have to do a breakthrough. You can literally play the game at level 10 forever. As of right now, from what I understand, you don't have to level up. Like, you don't have to go past level 10 if you don't want to. Now, there's bonuses to it. There's reasons to go past level 10, but it's not necessary. So this whole thing, the UI, the combat, the progression, it can all be super overwhelming. However, to be a master in the Jianghu, one must push through adversity. And I know that you, dear viewer, can do this because you actually got to this point in the video. If you got to this point in the video, you can do this. I know you can. I believe in you. I believe in you. If you've gotten to this point in this long video, I mean, come on. You got what it takes to actually get through this. Don't think about it too hard. Don't worry about it. You got this. These are the things I think you should keep doing. And this is, again, how you're going to keep progressing. Keep exploring. Keep doing dailies. And please, 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 just enjoy your time playing. This is a beautiful game with a lot to do and a lot to see and a lot to listen to. Just enjoy the game. Don't think about it too hard. Don't take it too seriously. Just live your best wuxia life. Live your best wuxia fantasy. And if you want to know what wuxia is, I just released a video on what wuxia is for those who don't know it. If you go to our YouTube page, you can go and see the video. It's great. It's great. I did such a good job. We did such a good job. In conclusion, this game's complicated. I kind of got overwhelmed like talking about this. I'm not gonna lie. As we're going through the menus, I'm like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? But we got through it. Just like you, dear viewer, we got through it. We can do this. We can do this together. And this game, like I've said before, it's great. Please enjoy it. Please play it. It's a ton of fun. And with that all being said, we're done. Thank you very much.